How is everybody? Welcome, welcome. I'm Jeannie Ralston, as I think all of you know. So we are very excited to talk about Colombia tonight. We're doing the trip again, and we are making it even better. It was fabulous last year, but we've tweaked a few things, which we always do because you guys are great giving us feedback and really telling us how to do it even better. So, um, I want to introduce, first of all, I'll introduce Mary Lou because she was on the trip last year and she's going to tell you her own take on it. And then we'll have Victoria Reyes, who is our Colombia-born uh, Next Tribe trip leader, who is going to be here. There she is, right on cue, Victoria. Victoria was born and raised in Colombia. She lives in New York now, and she lived in Austin for a long time. That's where I first met her. Victoria, you're not only you're just fun and kind and lovely, but you have so much knowledge, both personal and the historical part of about Colombia. You've got your master's in Latin American studies or something that like that.
Yeah, I got my master's from the University of Texas in Latin American Studies and Anthropology. And I've been teaching Latin American history for over 20 years, and so I'm really kind of a geek about it.
But not geek in the way you talk about it. You bring in such personal, your own personal history and observations, and you make it real for us. So we're so lucky to have Victoria to do this trip for us because of her knowledge and her experience there. So what we're gonna do is talk. I'm gonna have a presentation. We can go through the presentation and we'll talk over it and just we then we'll open it up for questions afterwards, or you can write your questions in the chat. So let me just do this thing where I switch to oh, here you got a nice big black thing. There we go. Um, so the trip is in July, and I know people have asked us, is it hot in July? Well, first of all, in Medellin, it's eternal spring. So we spend four nights in Medellin and 4 nights in Cartagena. And Medellin is just divine because it's eternal spring. Cartagena is warm. It's it's on the in the tropics, but there's almost no time that it's much cooler. And we were lucky. We got some nice cool weather. There's breezes that come off of the ocean. So Victoria, right, I mean, it's half dozen of one, six of the other, whatever you say about finding the exact right time to be there.
Yeah, I think it just depends when you go but yeah, so it does get hot obviously because it is a tropical weather, but there's also, the comforts of air conditioning and not in the streets obviously, but indoors and we had pretty good weather when we were there. And so, it was hot, but it wasn't completely unbearable when we were there last year.
Yeah, it was, and then we did take refuge, whenever we could inside in the air conditioning or on the beach. We went to the beach. So yeah, as you see, Medellin is just it's we do a flight because it's not this is very mountainous. So we are going to be flying from Medellin into Cartagena on the beach. And here's Victoria with Lee, who's our local guide. She's, born and raised, but has stayed in Colombia. And the two of you, that's such a great duo with the kind of experience and background you bring. So she's a cutie pie. So much energy. And so we start off in Medellin, and the downtown has some really striking architecture. We got a nice look at that and feel for the downtown. Um, And oh, before that, yes, we go to, oh, and tell us where, remind me where our hotel is, in which neighborhood. I forget it right now.
So our hotel is in Poblado.
That's
Um,
right.
yes. And this and also that slide you just showed, that actually is, I don't know if you remember, we went in there and like the top three stories of that building are all just art.
Oh, that's
It's
right. I
art
have a
gallery.
picture. I have
Yeah.
a picture of that. That's cool. Yeah, so Poblado is, I mean, this hotel is in a very leafy neighborhood and easy walk to some really great restaurants and shops. So we made use of that, and I want to keep all the restaurants to close to the hotel for sure. Yeah, that's what, right? That's the one that's
Yeah, that's the same
and that's
building.
Mary Lou.
Yeah, that's Mary Lou right there.
And one of the great things is we got a really great uh, immersion into Botero, right? I mean, just from the statues in the plaza, then the museum that had so many. I just fell in love with it all over again. I mean, I'd liked him before, but to be that close in. So how many? I can't remember how many statues are in there in that plaza, but there's a bunch.
Yeah, there is a bunch of them. I mean that it Medellin is his hometown, and so there's just a lot of his artwork has been donated to the city. And the city of Medellin is has been beautifully designed in such a way, with like you see all the green and it's like you're literally you feel like you're in the middle of the forest, but it's art is everywhere as well. And there's just been a lot of pride in the city. And so Botero has gifted a lot of his work to the city as well. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
no, it was fabulous. And then this was very exciting for us. T- Tell us about the way the cable car works. It's part of the public transportation, right?
Right. Yeah, so the way that the city this is also part of the city planning. So the city is planned into different in different neighborhoods, and it sort of organically happened that, the people who had the least amount of money ended up in the mountains, like going up the valleys, like you see, the cities down below in this picture. Um, but the people who have the least amount of money are living on the side of the mountains and they had to walk all the way down to go to work or do whatever they do and then come back. And there was just millions of stairs. And so the city decided to create ways to help those people get in and out of their homes in a faster and more efficient way so they could commute to their jobs more easily. So some of these we call them comunas, these neighborhoods, they have these what do you call these? They're like kind of like gondolas, right? How do you say
Yeah,
that?
yeah, gondolas. That's right.
Gondolas. And it's basically city transportation. You go up and down. And others have escalators, like tons of escalators up and down the mountain. And so they have different ways to do it, but it definitely beats trying to get up by foot or even just because it's so steep. Cars have to like zigzag all the way up, and it's not very efficient for buses to get up there or anything like that. So anyway, that's what you see in the picture. But in this picture also, if you go past what the neighborhood, there's this beautiful area where it's called Santa Elena. It's like another little town. And so we took the gondola up there and we went to Santa Elena to this farm that you see in the picture. It's a flower farm where they just grow flowers. And every year at this time of year, they have a big festival and a big parade where all of the people from that region that grow flowers have a competition. Um, of all of these beautiful artistic, I guess, projects that they make with flowers. So you can see the circular one that they're standing around is all made with flowers. It's 100% flowers. Every color on there is just flowers basically glued onto a piece of cardboard. And they're really heavy as well. And they carry them on their backs down the mountain. So that was one of actually, and this man, I forgot his name, Jeannie, you might remember, but he was so joyous and so friendly, right? And uh,
Nico, was it Nico or Mary?
Nico, yes, that's right. It was Nico. Yeah.
Yeah, that was he was a hoot. He wanted to be he needed to be a showman, a vaudeville or something.
Yeah, yeah. And
But
he was
we got
wearing all of the typical, the farmers, the way they carry their little shawl and their tool bag with them and all. Yeah, he was very, very sweet about showing us all everything that they do. Hmm.
yes. And one real highlight for me, and I think for a lot of people, was going to an organization called Mi Barrio, Mi Sueño, which means my neighborhood, my dream. And it's run by a woman who's Colombian, and she was adopted by people from the Netherlands, and grew up in Europe, but always felt called to come back to Colombia. And she started a program to help women who were single or had been abused or needed a new leg up in life. And they make jewelry and they sell it. So we get to go there and we make jewelry with them, and we find out about their lives. And I was just blown away by the Andrea, I think it was the woman who leads it, and the women who work there. And this is one of the poor neighborhoods that on the side of the mountain, like you were talking about, Victoria, I think.
Yeah.
But it feels like they're really making a difference. And you could tell it, the women who run it, they were so proud. They were so proud to be able to show us how to do it. And it's not easy, but it's fun because I brought a bunch of them, these bracelets home for people. So, and then I didn't, this is really, we're going to spend time in a comuna where you can explain about Comuna 13. This isn't exactly the pictures of it, but this grassroots thing where people are trying to turn their neighborhood, turn it into, use art to kind of better the lives of the people who live there, right?
Yes, yeah. So this is yeah, the comunas are basically the names that they give to the neighborhoods that are, they call them strata. So like there's social stratas in Colombia, and they're from 1 to 6. And 6 is like the really, wealthy people, and 1 is the people that that don't have a lot of resources, and they tend to live up on the mountain. And it's really interesting because even though they don't have a lot of resources, they're not ignored. There's this tendency for the government to organize things so that those people can be participating in the bigger communities. And they, so like for example, in these pictures, like those are images of people who actually live in those neighborhoods, and they, have a little restaurant or they have something, and so they're painted them on the walls. But the Comuna 13, where we would go, is actually a comuna where there's there's also a lot of painting and a lot of art, but it's more, I would say contemporary. And there are restaurants and shops there too, but it's a neighborhood where people live. And so it's really interesting to go up there. And the one, Comuna 13 has escalators. And so it's like you get on escalator and another escalator and another escalator just to go up the mountain. Like I, never really seen that anywhere else. And then there's also a lot of things for nightlife there too. Like if you wanted to, listen to music or go to a bar or something, people go there as well so it's a different kind of comuna. There's different ones. Some of them have, like where they do a lot of recycling, and there's, water, what do you call those? Like reservoirs that they've created. The one that you see the pictures of has art. The Comuna 13 is more of sort of like a social type of comuna with a lot of shopping and stores and things like that as well.
But it's really cool that they gather together and they embrace the art to kind of bring the community together and show the world, hey, we got things going on.
Yeah, and people come from all over to go to these neighborhoods. It's not like a poor neighborhood where you're afraid to go. I mean, these people are poor in the sense that they don't have all the resources, but the city, there's it maintains the order and the art and the culture is very strong there and it's unique also. These sort of grassroots, lots of new music comes from there, new art comes from there. Um, and so it's kind of integrated in a different kind of way than what you might imagine from just saying that's a poor neighborhood. Yeah.
That's cool. And just to make a point that we do some good eating while we were there in Medellin. There were some beautiful restaurants and just to really I mean the food was tremendous. So you'll eat well. This is one of my favorite days when we went to this coffee farm. It's a family run, a husband and wife ran it. It's very sustainable. Even Victoria, you remember, I mean, their principles were very close to what you study at Waldorf and on how they plant and take care of the land. And so we got to spend time with the husband and wife and just felt and we got to hike around in their coffee area that's right on the outskirts of Medellin.
Mhm. Yeah.
And another favorite place in the same neighborhood was a woman, was her name why do I forget her name?
Mhm.
Um oh gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Marta. Wasn't
Prelude,
it Marta?
remember? Oh,
Was it Marta?
I think it was Marta.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was Marta.
yeah, so she had you can see in some drawings behind her, she has all these plans. I mean, she's like a single woman doing all this work, farming and bees and irrigation and fruit trees and then she cooks and has a restaurant and the food was literally, yeah, I mean, not, it was farm to table, but you could just, when you're eating, you look up and there's all the the plants she's growing and just, again, I'd love on any next tribe trip to meet local women, especially women our age, especially those doing things like this, where she's spunky, she's got a great entrepreneurial spirit. That was,
Yeah. She was an artist too. Like there was
oh,
a
that's right.
mosaic in her house that she created, and you can see in this image where the painting on the wall, I think, is something that she's in process with. So
Yes.
amazing to see like how much time this woman has, or creates out of nowhere to do all these
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
That was really special. So then we'll take a short flight to Cartagena and just what a treat. I mean, the colonial city. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of Cartagena?
So, yeah, Cartagena was founded in 1533 by the Spaniards. It was a Spanish colony, and it's built in a particular location that is very strategic for kind of like Constantinople, where there's water on it all around it, but and there's a lot of islands around it too. And so, like, when you see things like Pirates of the Caribbean and all of that, like, sort of is based on somewhat, of course, it's not real history in that movie, but that is where all of the pirates were. That's where the Spanish Empire was taking all of the treasures and the golds and the emeralds and the silver, where they literally say that they took so much silver out of Latin America that they took back to Spain that you could have built a bridge across the Atlantic Ocean from South America to Europe with the amount of silver. And so it is a place where there was a lot of pirates and things like that. So you see this image to the right is part of the fortress that they created around the city. So there's a wall around the city that was a protective wall, and there is still old cannons in those walls, and you can see, the history behind all of that. It's also the first entry a point for enslaved Africans that started coming to the New World when that happened. And so there was a lot of commerce in general, obviously enslaved peoples being, brought in and then, sold, and as well as things coming from Europe and things going back to Europe. So Cartagena was a very important city for that time in history. and and you can see the architecture and everything has, there's a lot of effort that has happened to maintain these balconies, throughout all the streets are just covered with balconies and there's a lot of churches and there's a lot. I can't wait if you guys go because I could say a lot about Cartagena and there's a I would say we say it's a castle in Spanish, but it's more of a fort. And there's all these tunnels that were created under the city to manage the strategic protection of the city because there was a lot of attempts from the British and other countries that were trying to take it over. Um, so there's a lot of history and a lot of good stories, and I'm excited about it, telling you guys because if you go, I will talk your ear off over the meals and tell you all these crazy stories.
And the walled city, is it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, isn't it? Yeah,
Yes, it
that
is.
that
Mm-hmm.
because it's really really beautiful to be in there. You go feel like you're in a movie. And this year we are going to stay in the walled city so that we have, easy access to all that. So this is our hotel, Santa Catalina. And after we get there, we'll do a walking tour, and then we'll have a salsa dance class, which which will be fun. I know Mary Lou's like, what?
Yeah, we missed out on that last time.
I know, I know. I was like, we've got to dance, we've got to learn. And we just can imagine that we're these women here doing the salsa, and we'll have a couple of hours of class, I think, to to get it together, and hopefully we'll have cute men. So then a really fun thing we did last year was we had a cooking class, and there was a woman, Gloria, and her son we made sea bass, and didn't we make the plantains, the plantain fritters kind of thing.
Yeah.
We had a fabulous menu there. That was really fun. And then here's what you were talking about, the Castillo, which is actually the fort. So we'll go through that with Victoria.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's
that's
part of it. Hmm.
we'll make sure we go in the morning because remember it's pretty exposed, so we want to go in the morning for that.
Yes, the morning is the best for that. Hmm.
Yeah. And then you were talking about some of the islands off the coast, and so we will be spending a day at one of the islands, and we take a boat out. There's lunch that we can get I got a massage right on the beside the beach. Victoria and I went snorkeling. Mary Lou, I couldn't find your beautiful photo on the swing, but anyway, it should be in here. But it's just it's a very relaxing day, and beach day. And yeah, you can snorkel. I think there was something else that you could choose
Yeah,
to
we
do.
went on a walk
Oh, that's right. In
on the island. We went a walk around the island and we saw
Massage.
the
oh,
massage,
there was
yeah.
massage. Yeah. Hmm.
So what do you see on the walk? I forget.
We saw some birds, some like guacamayas, like those, I don't know. I I guess they're kind of suddenly I can't say the word in English, but they're big, colorful birds.
yes, okay. Yes,
Friend of mine is a birder and he goes to Colombia twice, 2 or 3 times a year.
wow.
So I can find out names of birds. He also looked at the itinerary and said it was excellent.
Oh, good. Well, it's been approved by Victoria, so and we'll get to more about birding in a minute, but just a little bit about street life in Cartagena. I mean, there's just, it's just so vibrant and so full of life, and there's music on the streets, and there's a video of me dancing with some guy who's and we were all dancing in the street. It's just so it was just non it was really fun, that feeling in there. Um, and then we go to a bird sanctuary. And tell us a little bit about the bird, because Victoria suggested this. She went last year after our trip.
Yeah, so it's actually on an island that's near Cartagena. It's not as far as the other islands, but it's yeah, so the island has this tremendous aviary and there's so many kinds of birds. I mean, if you want to see birds, of course, they are, they're being kept here. So some of them, but there are areas on the island where the birds are actually free to fly around and roam around, and there's not anything over the top. So they also just live there, but they're so it feels it's kind of one of those places where you're looking at birds, but they look like they're kind of in the wild. And but they keep them there and they maintain them and it's really beautifully made and they have them sectioned off also so that certain birds that live well together can be in certain areas. But yeah, I think it was just a beautiful walk through these pathways and sometimes you're like in a little path like kind of going through the flora there and other times there's like little wooden bridges and it's just a really nice walk. And then at the end there was this show where they have like a small amphitheater and they have some birds that they've trained and they, go out into the audience and like, took someone's hat or something and brought it back like there. And so there's really smart and just incredible so many birds of all different kinds and colors. Really, really beautiful. Colombia is one of the countries on the planet that has, one of the largest bird diversity and species. And so a lot of people do, like Debbie said, come to Colombia specifically to see birds, to do bird watching. And so, yeah, you'll get to do some of that. Hmm.
Cool.
Yay. And then we'll send you off. Um, but just a few more pictures just to get you in the mood. And Victoria can tell you all about, we won't keep you now, but she can tell you all about these women that you'll see in Cartagena. And they're just, one of the beautiful rooftop bars that we went to in Cartagena. So anyway, so before I open it up for questions, I was going to just introduce you to Mary Lou Mazzara, which Mary Lou's already said hello, but Mary Lou, can you just tell us, oh, Debbie says, Debbie, you know Debbie, of course.
Of
Can
course,
you,
I know Debbie. We've been on trips together.
that's right. But you wrote about the trip for us and what'd you come away with feeling?
The thing I liked the most was I was so impressed with the sense of community in both cities, especially among the women, working together to improve their lives and better their world. I was really impressed with that. But the cities were vibrant, colorful, just bursting with color and art. Everything was so interesting. You're in the mountains, you're on the coast, so you have both aspects, and you get to see so many different things, art and agriculture, world-renowned coffee farms. We didn't get the birding, but we did the market tour, we did the cooking, and one of the really special things about this trip, like many of the others, is we get to meet the people. We're not just looking, from a distance or marching through. We get to sort of hang out with the locals. So you really get a feel of who they are, what they're doing. You feel their pride. I was so impressed with everything about the country.
Oh, I
Yes,
love how you said that. You feel their pride. That is true.
yes, yes, very, very much so. And this was my fourth Next Tribe trip. So if you've been on any others, I know Debbie has, I don't know if Tara has, but there's always such a sense of sisterhood.
It will be my fourth.
Oh, be your fourth.
Such
Yay!
a sense of sisterhood where, it's a small group, we really bond, we share, we support each other. And this was just a wonderful, wonderful trip. It was also my birthday.
Oh, that's right. I have a picture. That's right. I just saw the picture of you.
Blowing
Well,
out
and
the,
it's
blowing
the
out the
reason
candle.
I'm thinking about going because it's the week after my birthday.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
we'll grandfather you in. We'll give you a little
oh, I
birthday.
celebrate the entire month of July, so that's fine.
Yeah, I really appreciated and enjoyed the trip. There was so many wonderful things about it.
Oh, that's great. Well, what questions, Debbie or Tara? What do you have,
I just have
Debbie?
just one observation. It's not really a question. I also know you would never do anything to put us in harm's way, but I'm bothered by the orange man talking about Colombia and his Venezuela lately. And so I'm just hoping we watch out for political unrest because Trump may create it. So
Well, Victoria, what I mean, um, I need to follow that, but I know that he's been saying some things, but my feeling is there's the people just they love Americans. I don't know if they like the American government, but they love or they feel very fond of Americans. Is that right, Victoria? What do you think?
Yeah, I think, I think Colombians in general know that the orange man is not representative of Americans. Like, really, I think most people, I think a lot of people on the planet know that, we still are in mystery of understanding what the hell's going on in our country, right? And we're not aligned with that. And I think, this political standoff that the Colombian president has had with, Donald Trump over, you know, going into these waters and, basically attacking ships and things like that, with the premise that they're carrying drugs, you know, um, I don't think the people on the street are going to be asking us about that or talking about that. I think that's just, these are places, Medellin and Cartagena are places that are filled with foreigners. They're filled with not just Americans, but people from all over the place. And um, I don't, I would be surprised if there were any kind of issue in that sense for us. But it is important to know, like what you just said, Debbie, that there's things going on politically. But for the most part,
it is some time away, but I think we just need to be aware of it
mhm.
um,
Yeah.
because, you know, he declares war, whether it's, sanctioned or not, it would not be good for us to go.
Well, I think that if we didn't go to all the places that he's made angry or has picked on, we wouldn't have anywhere to go. So
Yeah,
anyway,
true.
I mean, we were just in Mexico, so uh, and it's not his favorite country either. It's there, so
Well, America first. No,
but yes, so we of course will stay mindful of that. No worries, we wouldn't do that. And Victoria and has family that lives there, and then we have contacts with Lee and the company that does all the logistics for us down in so we will
yeah,
monitor
I
that.
trust you would know whether it's safe for us to go or
Yeah, yeah.
not. Okay, and
Of the $400 for unless there's other questions or
Can
things to,
am I in the drawing?
are you gonna come again?
hey, you're going to give it to me.
I would love to, but not this time.
I forget where your next trip is. I think you're going to,
Turkey.
oh yeah, you're going to Turkey. Okay.
That's fun.
So here I've got Tara and Debbie, and I'm putting you both here in my little,
You could just give us both.
I know, I feel
100
like I should
each.
split it between you or something. But anyway, we'll talk about that. Let's see. Okay, who?
That's funny.
Oh, it's Tara.
Oh, great.
Oh, good.
Congratulations, Tara.
After you spurred me up with it 2 weeks ago. So
I know, but you're getting something off for
I'm never going to win one of these things. That's a bummer.
well, you're getting some help from because I owe you after you never got the message that we had to change it.
No, I did not. And I checked everything. There was no email.
I know. That's bad on us, but anyway. So
Well, thank you.
So I get it.
Tara, you were in San Miguel with several other people.
Right. Yeah, it just wasn't San Miguel. Yeah.
But
That's
who
great.
you were with two other? I can't remember who you were with. Weren't you with two others people? Or were you on
Well,
your own?
I was with Deborah Salji.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right, Deborah.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't
Yeah.
remember.
So,
Good. Well,
Signed up
maybe.
for that for next year.
Oh yeah, you did sign up, and you don't want to miss that.
Oh,
yep,
that's a
it's awesome.
fabulous trip.
It
Fabulous.
was great. Yeah.
So anyway, so Tara, if you sign up, let's say in the next 2 weeks, you'll get the 400 off. Debbie, are you gonna if you sign up? let's give you 2 weeks and you get the 200 off because I owe her.
Okay, so how do I
Oh,
put that in the how do I put that in the little thing?
No, what happens is you sign up and I will tell Marcy and she will deduct it. You put the deposit down and then she'll deduct it from what you owe from
Okay, yeah, okay,
the
fine.
balance. So,
I hemmed and hawed on this one last year and then just didn't do it. And now, and for a number of reasons, one of which I was still in the process of
working, yeah.
retiring. So, so now that that's quote unquote technically done, I'm just loading them up.
Oh,
So,
good. Come on, let's go.
so I'm loading up a couple trips, but I'll have three next tribe trips for next year then. So that'll probably be it till the year after.
Okay,
So,
very good. We're happy to have you. We're happy to have you. And we'd love to have you, Tara, in Colombia.
and I
And
would recommend Iceland if that one too. So just saying that was a fabulous trip.
yeah, that was really good. But Victoria, anything to leave our wonderful people with?
Well, I'm excited about seeing Debbie and Tara there and anybody else. I wish Mary Lou could come back because that was so fun.
I'm
And
so happy to just see you in this little box on my computer screen.
Other
yeah,
people
we have
signed up.
What
Jeannie, have other people signed up already?
I think we only have maybe two, or maybe they're on the wait list. Or I mean, maybe they just have talked to Marcy. So, but not yet that I know of. That I mean, it's not like it's
Yeah,
filled.
I'm going to grab one of the singles in the next couple
Yeah,
days.
yeah. Grab one of the singles, but also we want to get Victoria at some point. I need to talk to you. I'd love to get Victoria doing other trips in Latin America. So we've got to talk to her since she hits that right balance of lots of knowledge and experience, but lots of fun and just a really good heart. So and kindness. So
yeah, I'd love to do more trips.
okay, we will talk about it. We're going to get you. So anyway, everybody, thank you so much for
thank
coming,
you.
especially Mary Lou and Victoria, and you two, Debbie and Tara. So I hope to see you down the road soon in
Happy
person.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh, yes, happy
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thankful for.
Bye-bye.